Hello YouTube, I'm getting ready to start on my next project. I believe this is going to be the last major project I got to build for this year's display outside of the actual setting up of the actual display itself. What this one's going to be is this is going to be the big church. My game plan is to essentially build a church that people can actually walk through. It's going to be 20 feet deep, 12 feet wide, and max out at about 13 to 14 feet at the top of the steeple. Well, my game plan is I'm going to be building it in multiple sections. The front half of the whole church is going to be kind of built completely, done as far as the siding, the whole 9 yards, everything on it. But it's going to come apart in 4 pieces. The sides and the back, just going to do raw framing, and then once we get it out there, then we'll stand the raw framing up, screw everything together, and then we'll just hang the siding on it. What I ended up doing is I ended up getting a hold of a bunch of used 2x4s, stuff that maybe had a couple screws or nails or something like that in it that you cut down and that kind of stuff, picked up super cheap. The other thing I also picked up is some privacy stockade fence that I got for free off the marketplace. It's all rotted, really not good for anything else, but it's perfect for a project like this to make it look like an old, nasty, dilapidated church that's sitting out in the very back of a old cemetery. So it's going to be ideal for this. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get started. All right, this morning we're going to be setting the church up. I have somebody coming to say hi to me this morning. This is my little girl, Mavis. Say hi, Mavis. There it is. I got everything sitting out here. Everything's laid out. I got a friend that's going to be coming by to help me get it all set up. I have everything kind of laid out and the areas where they're going to go. It's just a matter of just kind of standing them up, pushing them together, screwing them together. Got all the stuff also sitting out here as far as I got the trusses. I got the main back rib for the trusses, some extra filler pieces for the siding. I also got this stuff right here I picked up. I don't really know what it is. I got it for free. It kind of reminds me of like roofing for like an RV or something. It's a very thick, heavy duty like rubber, which I think is gonna be perfect for the roof to help keep water and stuff out. Somebody's coming to say hi again. Say hi this time. She's not saying it. Then I got extra siding right here. He's also going to be bringing a few extra pieces just in case we need a little bit more. But the way I have this thing set up, the way I have it kind of laid out, this really shouldn't take us but maybe a couple hours to fully get set up and ready to go. Watch this. She's like my canine, but in a cat body. Come on. See that? Here, I'll stop. Ready? And now I'll walk again. Come on. Now I'll stop. All right, so we pretty much got the structure fully up. Now that stuff that I had got for the roof wasn't enough to do the whole roof, so I just took some house wrap, the stuff I use on my mausoleums, and a thin piece of wood. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint that the same color as that right there. So I want it to look like it has a tin roof on it. So I'm gonna just paint that portion gray so it matches. Still got a little bit of trim to do on the corners, things like that. But other than that, it's not too bad. I got to put a little some reinforcement pieces on the interior. I'm gonna go inside and show it real fast, show you what I'm talking about. Now what I'll be doing is areas like right here where the boards that the fence panels are hooked to, because I was able to screw them to the top and bottom. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a couple extra 2x and cut them in between here, and then run more screws so that it'll take away, that flex that it has right there. And the other thing we thought it would be kind of cool with doing the thin plywood up there, we'll put a couple breaks in it and kind of make it look like it's a bad spot in the roof. So as they're walking through it, everything else will look pretty good. But then as they get close to the door, it'll look like the roof is like deteriorating, almost like it's gonna like fall on them, kind of thing, just to kind of add to a little bit of the suspense of walking through this in the first place. So I'm gonna put some stuff up here to kind of make it look like it's actually falling down essentially. So that's kind of something we thought about doing, as kind of like an alternative on the fly, since I didn't have enough of this right here. But it's fully up. It's definitely not level. It's definitely not plumb. It's definitely not perfectly straight, but it does have the characteristics of a really old, nasty church that you'd see out in the middle of nowhere, maybe in an old cemetery or maybe in the back rural areas of somewhere. So it definitely has the look, which is essentially what I was going for. So I'm pretty pleased with it so far. I just gotta get that roof painted, do some supports, and then it'll almost be done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and consider this to be done outside of the lighting and the props themselves. Now what I was doing is I was misting some dark brown paint down the sides, and then I came back and misted some gray over the whole thing, the sides and the front. What I was trying to do is I was trying to tie everything together to kind of make it look like everything was done at one time. So this way it didn't look like you had your front, then you had this hodgepodge of pieces across the side. It looks like it's all was done kind of at the same time, essentially, is what I was kind of going for. But I don't think there's anything else I really need to do to this prop outside of starting to do the the actual props and everything. But what the game plan is they're going to be entering through here. I have two little cubby holes, one right here. These will have blinders on them. The one right here, I'll just have something sitting in there. Another one right here, and there'll actually be a person sitting in here. The person's role here is going to act for two reasons. One, just to kind of keep an eye on everything, just make sure nobody's messing with anything, because once they enter here, they're going to be out of sight. So it's going to keep it to, make sure that they're not messing with anything, trying to knock stuff over. And two, if you have one of the older kids that they want to give a little extra scare to, he can jump out, scare them, chase them out of here, whatever he wants to do, kind of thing. But the game plan is to put my pipe organ guy over here towards this corner. I'm going to kind of build like a little corner stage kind of thing. So it's going to be right in that corner. my 8-foot dark angel is going to go right here. I'm probably going to have a bench right here, and then maybe a couple things right here. I'm going to try to get it to where it's going to kind of lure them, kind of like this a little bit, so they go out the door. So when they come in, they're going to kind of turn this way, so it kind of keeps them well away from my stuff over here. And then they'll walk out, and like I said, if he wants to, he could jump right out and chase them right out from that little cubby hole right there. And then they'll come out and they'll go through the rest of the cemetery, which is going to be pretty much this entire front yard you see right here. Everything from essentially that fence all the way to this tree right here, and from about where I'm standing all the way to my driveway. This is all going to be one huge walk-through cemetery display. I will say this is the biggest prop that I've ever built for any of my Halloween displays, whether it's a display, event, or anything like that. It is the biggest. I probably won't make anything ever bigger than this. This was a bit much, but it was definitely fun to make. I definitely like the way it came out. It's definitely gonna be real creepy. I'm kind of curious to see how many people will actually walk through this thing, or how many people will be too afraid to actually kind of enter it, not knowing what's in there essentially. So that's gonna be a lot of fun just to watch. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think of it. And as always, thanks for watching.